Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and today we're going to be going over one of my favorite things I like to teach, at least one of my favorite games illustrating this. This is do not bring your queen out too early. Now, this is a very basic rule that a lot of people do not follow. Here we're going to follow a gamer white trying to go for Scholar's Mate or the 4-move checkmate, just gets demolished by their advanced opponent. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and punish those people that bring their queen out too early. We start with e4, e5. Let's control the center. Bishop c4. Already we have a little ding-ding go off in our head because here they're developing the bishop before the knight. Now, I'm not saying do not bring the bishop out to c4. It's just typically best to develop with a threat. So something like knight to f3 is much better as this attacks a pawn. So bishop c4 comes out to attack f7. This is the weakest square next to the king. And, well, knight c6 gets played. You can definitely tell that black is an advanced player, bringing out the knight and defending the e5 pawn. And here white goes for it, queen to h5, threatening that Scholar's Mate or the 4-move checkmate, threatening on f7 here. Okay, well, what's one of the best ways to defend? Remember, always look to try to attack your opponent back, especially whenever they attack you. So hopefully you play the right move here. What's the move? It's just pawn to g6, attacking the queen. Okay, well, white did not learn their lesson. They went ahead and played queen to f3 with the same idea. Here they're threatening queen takes on f7, checkmate yet again. All right, what do you play here? Remember, don't ever try to use your pawns to answer the problems in the opening. Always try to use your pieces. Remember, when we're talking about pieces, we're talking about the knights, bishops, queen, and the rooks. Remember, pawns are not pieces here. So what do you play here? Knight to f6 makes sense. Of course, queen can't take because, well, the queen just defends. All right, on to our next move. Here, white again makes that devastatingly bad move. Queen over to b3, putting pressure on f7. Okay, how can this be bad? Here, black has a beautiful refutation. In fact, the computer's already given this -6, meaning, well, black's already up an extra rook here. Can you find the move, what black plays here to get into a very good position? Well, go ahead and push pause if you want to. If not, enjoy the show. Here, black plays the amazing, here we go, da-da-da-da, knight to d4 here. Oh my gosh. Here I know a lot of people were looking at queen e7 or at least trying to play pawn to d5 to block. They don't want to lose the f7 pawn. It makes sense. But here knight to d4 is just winning the game on the spot. Here, what's the move do? It puts pressure on the queen. Okay, can we just take and check? You can, and that is what happened in the game. But after bishop takes on f7 check, the king just goes to e7. Here we can't take because the queen was defending. And now this is where white found out that they have a big problem here. What's the problem? Well, here the queen needs to stay to defend the bishop. And really, there's only one square the queen can move to. You have c4, d5, or e6. Well, e6 is out of the question. Pawn just takes. d5, knight takes, which only leaves pawn to c4 here. Okay, so the queen went to its only square. Queen to c4. Now we have that simple idea. Here, if we're able to kick the queen or attack her and get her off the diagonal, well, we'll just win the bishop. So what do you play here to kick the queen? Here, what do you play? Here, all you have to do is play pawn to b5. Let's kick her away. You could have also tried knight takes on c2 check, but I don't recommend this move as it loses your best piece here, which is the knight. Okay, well, here the queen really has nowhere good to go, at least to defend the bishop after pawn to b5. And here white said, you know what, there's a free pawn here on e5. Let's go ahead and do a check. And after king takes, we could take on e5 here. Only now did white realize that this was actually a very bad idea. What's wrong with queen takes on e5? Remember, the little pieces will do all the work. They get free tempos by attacking the queen. Here, the knight would just take on c2 check, forking the king and the rook. Uh-oh, things are going bad here. Okay, so once white figured this out, they went ahead and brought the queen back to c3. Here, the queen needs to keep guarding the c2 square. Remember the idea, develop with a threat. Bring out all your little pieces and get free tempos or free moves by attacking the queen. What's the next piece you want to move? It's the dark square bishop. Where do you move it? Here, hopefully you found it. It's the amazing move, bishop to b4. Wait a second, can't the queen just take? It is tactically defended by the knight. Already the queen is running out of squares here. Okay, so if queen takes, knight takes on c2 check, forking the king, queen, and the rook. A nice family fork over here. Okay, so that means the queen has to move away. Already the queen can't move to b3 because knight takes. You can't stay here on c3. Bishop takes, so the queen would be forced to move to d3. It's the last square the queen can move to defend on c2. All right, let's keep the idea going. If it's your turn in this position, what do you play here? Here, an easy way to figure it out. Think about the next piece that you want to move. What's the next piece you want to move? It's your bishop. Remember, try to bring out all your knights and bishops first. In this case, you want to bring our bishop out. So what do you play? Here you play another exclamation move, pawn to d5. I heard someone say, hey, shouldn't we play bishop b7? It's not a bad idea because you are threatening to play bishop takes on e4. But here we want to always try to make a big threat here. Plus the bishop is going to be better placed on a different diagonal. So that's why the move of d5 was better. Here we're threatening pawn takes on e4. And I guess, yes, after bishop b7, they can play pawn f3 here. And this is why this one is not the best. So here after d5, you're going to take anyway. Yes, f3 can still get played, but notice how we gave the bishop a new diagonal to move on. Okay, so what does white play here? Here white played again the worst move, not really understanding the position. Pawn takes on e5. Okay, the queen could take back, right? Well, just remember, develop with a threat. What do you play here? Remember, you want to bring this bishop out. What was the idea? Here we play bishop to f5, and here we're again winning by force. Why? Here we're threatening to take on c2, so it doesn't really matter where the queen moves to. Knight takes on c2 check can get played. And if you're keeping count, here you'll realize the queen's actually running out of squares here. Here the queen cannot really move anywhere on the third rank. Here can the queen go to a3? Bishop takes. What about b3? Knight takes. Okay, c3. Bishop takes. The queen on d3. Well, we see that bishop's attacking here. What about queen e3? Is it safe here? Unfortunately, no. Knight takes check. Again, winning with the fork. Queen f3. Knight takes f3 check. Queen to g3. The only safe square. And here queen h3. Well, bishop just takes over here. I mean, I guess if you want to, you can move your queen back to f1 here. So it only makes sense. Well, white went ahead and played the queen to g3 here. All right, black to move. Let's keep harassing. Let's keep attacking this queen. What do you play? Here you play knight to h5. All the little pieces do their job, and they just harass this queen. In fact, at this point, the queen really has no good square to move to. Notice that when the knight moved over here, not only did the knight attack the queen, but it opened up the queen here on this diagonal. So the queen cannot move to g5 or to h4 because of the queen. Can't go to the light square on g4, the bishop. And as we said already, all these squares are taken up by the little pieces. The only one that was left was knight to g3. That only leaves one square left. The queen took on e5 here. All right, this has got to be bad here. It looks like white just won a free pawn, but this is not so. It's black to move. What do you do? Hint, here the king and queen are on the same file. So what do? Let's pin it and win it. What do you play? Here we go, rook to e8. Here we're attacking the queen, and the queen cannot take the knight, or else the rook would then take the king. It's just a pin and a win. All right, well, nothing better. Queen takes check. Queen takes check. And here, white went ahead, I guess, and just jumped on the sword. Or maybe they just didn't see the checkmate, but they go ahead and play the king to d1. If they did want to survive for a little bit longer, not too much longer, mind you, they would have played king to f1. But after king d1, it is game over. All right, black to move. I hope you see the idea. Hopefully you found it. Here it's bishop takes on c2 for check and mate. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Remember, whenever you're playing your chess games, do not bring your queen out too early. If your opponent does, bring out the little pieces, try to attack her, and then you will either be able to attack the king or win your opponent's material. Okay, we'll see you in the next game.